Hi, my name is David Lee. I am a senior business management and human resources major, double major. Um, I'm a senior. My fun fact is that I spend every available summer in Scotland to visit family. And today I'm going to do my Petchu Kucha on the EEOC laws, the second half. So I'm going to be doing like I said, the latter laws, which include laws of national origin, pregnancy, religion, sex, and sexual harassment, retaliation, military service, and I will try to make this as interesting as possible. So the first law I'm going to discuss is the national origin law, which basically states that you can't discriminate against a person based on where they come from. This also extends to accent as well as particular descendancy. However, even though an employer can't discriminate based on where you are from, they can discriminate about what language you are speaking. An employer can require that an employee speak English, and because of that, there is nothing wrong with that. So if they want you to speak English, there's nothing wrong with that, really. You can't get discriminated against. So, personal story. All through my childhood, I've had an accent for as long as I can remember. Some hear it, some don't, but it's there. And from my experience, I've learned that the best way to deal with having an accent is to hide it for as long as possible. So, when going for job interviews, one of the questions that seem to come up casually, usually near the end or after the interview, is whether I have an accent or not. I of course say yes to these questions because some people hear it, some people don't. But sometimes it feels as though I'm hurting my chances by saying that I have an accent because it could get into the way of my work in communicating. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is the pregnancy section of the EEOC, which delves into unfavorable treatment of a woman who is pregnant, recovering from childbirth, or suffering from a medical condition related to pregnancy or childbirth. So, depending on the severity of the pregnancy, the work offered to an afflicted employee must be adapted to a particular situation if they refuse to take leave. Tasks should be modified, and pregnant employees should be treated as a temporary disabled employee because, well, they're pregnant, so you have to make things that won't get into the way of the pregnancy. So the FMLA, the Family Medical Leave Act, also has a say when dealing with pregnancy in the workplace. Any company with 50 or more employees has to give 12 weeks unpaid leave for care of a newborn child as well as any immediate family members affected by the birth. So the next section I'm going to deal with is race and color. This type of discrimination is different from national origin as it focuses primarily on treating someone unfairly due to the color of their skin and characteristics associated with it. So basically, stereotypes associated with the color of the skin. The protection does not only apply to one of a different color/race, but also to their married partner as well. Also, this isn't just discriminated to just different from let's say white on black, but can also apply to black on black. So it can be same race discrimination. So the next one we'll talk about is religious discrimination. This basically covers all discrimination of an employee based on their religious preference. This also encompasses the fact that a company must make an attempt to accommodate religious differences. We shall discuss next slide. An example of this accommodation is flexible scheduling in order to accommodate religious holidays as well as religious practices. This is also not limited to scheduling, but dress attire as well, such as allowing headscarves and beards in some religions. When some religions, headscarves and beards are needed. Usually it's up to the employee to make it known to the employer that they need a religious accommodation. Assuming that the practice doesn't ban the company, the employer should honor whatever request that the employee makes in this section. So as long as it doesn't ban the company should adhere to the religious thing. Next, we move on to sex and sexual harassment. This part of the EEOC delves into discrimination based on someone's sex. This law ties into sexual harassment laws from the previous chapters. Harassment includes unwanted sexual advances, sexual favors, and other verbal and physical harassment. Please remember that sexual harassment affects everybody in the workplace, and nobody is really safe from it, no matter the gender, and can be affected by it. This includes male to male, female to male to female, and so on and so forth. So it affects both genders equally. As discussed by my previous groupmate, EEOC laws make it impossible for someone to retaliate against an employee for making a discrimination claim. It's illegal because you shouldn't punish someone for coming out for discrimination they face in the workplace. Retaliation takes many forms other than legal action. It includes but not limited to harassment in the workplace, termination, and demotion. All these actions are illegal to someone who came out and said they were discriminated against. This also applies to people who participated in discrimination proceedings. The last aspect of EEOC is people who served in the military. Under USERA, the Uniformed Services Employment and Reemployment Act, all military service members are under a protected class and thus cannot be discriminated against. This part of the EEOC also makes it so that if they are deployed while doing their civilian jobs, that the job remain open to them when they get back from deployment. This also prevents discrimination based on past, present, or future military service. And that's all I have for my part of the Petchu. Thank you for watching, and have a good day.